and that is the Saints Wire, which is a great follow. It's the USA Today Saints feed, basically. The Saints Wire tweets this out. The Saints, it's from Ross Jackson. The Saints were over the cap by more than $70 million entering this offseason. They went on to sign Tyrann Mathieu, Jarvis Landry, and their 22 draft class, and they still have $9.6 million left to spend. That's Kai Harley. That's Mickey Loomis. That's why these Saints continue to just prove that they are, if not the best, top 3 in the entire NFL when it comes to manipulating the cap. They just have the smartest guys in the room when it comes to the NFL cap. And look, and not even just, I want to be clear, not even just the manipulation of numbers, right? Which to me, that falls directly under Kai Harley's department. Like, he is your guru, wizard, math guy. But also the offseason strategy, right? They had to slow play Jarvis. Jarvis turned down a much bigger contract from Atlanta than what he ended up getting here. Like, he may have overplayed his hand in the market a bit, and it ended up working to the Saints' benefit. But the Saints did not jump. They did not overpay, right? The same thing with Tyrann Mathieu. They got a great deal on a great player. So both the strategy of how they approach the offseason and the mathematical manipulation, just a grade A offseason for the Saints front office.
I don't think you could have asked for more, just from where they were to where they are now, and everything you laid out in between. You really filled a lot of positions of need. When you're sitting there and you're looking at the roster, the Saints probably feel really comfortable everywhere they're at, because even a tight end position that we sit here and we're like, okay, man, what are you going to do at tight end? They probably feel like Taysom can give them more than we currently think Taysom can give them. Like, right, wrong, or indifferent, that's where they feel. So that's why they haven't made a move there. They still have Adam Troutman, who you're still waiting for more in the passing game. Running game-wise, Adam Troutman's been pretty good.
Yeah.
It wasn't as good in year 2 as year 1, but he's been pretty good. So when you go across the board, T, and you look at all the holes that they had to fill, they filled them all. At least on paper, for who they brought in, you feel excited about it moving forward. So this is a team that, $70 million, and you're able to parlay that into having 9 left over after signing all the guys you just laid out. So if you're the Saints moving forward, like, is there a position, T, that you would even feel like you needed to add
they
another
didn't sign
body?
Darrell Williams, right? We didn't miss that?
No.
He was just in New Orleans hanging out. We don't even know if he was actually visiting the Saints.
He's from New Orleans.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I know a lot of people that maybe don't know that fact, though.
Yeah, thought he was visiting the Saints.
Darrell put out there, like, hey, New Orleans, and put the stamp there, and everybody's like, oh, Darrell Williams is in New Orleans. Like, I think he's from there.
Yeah.
But that would still be John Ehret? Yeah.
Is he John Ehret? I know. I saw a John Ehret Fountain Blue game back in the day with who was quarterback? Was it Chris? Was it Chris Mitchell? I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's pointless. I think Drake Nevis was in that game too. But shout out to our guy Big Fave texting me and Jake saying talking about Darrell Williams being a West Banker from the best bank over there. Big Fave also saying, really it's tight end and defensive tackle that they probably still need to work on. I still think they need a running back as well. But Fave does go on to say that the tackle from Air Force he thinks could be really good and could be the answer.
They did draft one, but when you look at who they have at defensive tackle, they actually do have bodies that they've used before with Anyamana and Shai Tuttle and others. So it is a position.
And Davenport's a 3-tech. Like, Davenport can be a 3-tech when
Peyton
you need
Turner
him.
Certainly.
Yeah, or Peyton Turner, either one. That's why they drafted these gigantic, just monsters of men out there on the edge.
You have Malcolm Roach as well.
Yeah.
So guys that have played for you in the past, you know them pretty well. So you at least have able bodies there. You hate to look at it and be like, okay, yep, this is it. This is the roster. Throw it out there. It's going to be fine. But right now, with what they had to try to do, you feel like they really went out there and did a nice job. I agree with you. Adding another running back, I think, would be important because we just don't know the situation with Alvin Kamara. And if he's out, who's going to be your lead back? Mark Ingram, I think, can still give you value. But I don't think at this point in his career, his age, he can be a lead back for 6 weeks. Abram Smith, somebody that's an undrafted free agent from Baylor, really talented, kind of a raw player, more of a project. Might be a nice piece eventually. I don't know if he can do, 6 weeks full of taking on a big load right now. So that's a position, if I had to be nitpicky, I would probably say that position.
Yeah, I did forget about the Baylor running back. He is one of those, you never want to overly bank on UDFA's early draft picks, but he is one of those high potential guys where you think that, okay, he could end up being a guy. So excellent job by your New Orleans Saints.
I mean, anywhere else, I mean, because even linebacker, like, I know you didn't sign Quan back, but you got Pete Warner, who showed you last year that he is a player that can be counted on in this league, second-round pick. Zach Bond still inconsistent there, but somebody that's not going to be asked to do a majority of the work with DeMario Davis and Pete Warner already in place. Caden Ellis is more of a special teams guy, but he can give you some snaps on defense. DeMarco Jackson, somebody that I was extremely high on. You drafted him from App State. So that position, maybe if you want to add a body there, but this feels like the final form roster as far as starting camp with.
Yeah, and let's be clear with the Quan and Pete Warner thing is that too is cap management. Because even if you don't think that Pete Warner is as good as Quan today, he was very good. He's young, meaning his ceiling should continue to rise, and you have him on a cheap rookie deal. And so if you're trying to find, if you're doing the management of resources and roster management, then yeah, Quan was not enough of an upgrade over Warner to justify the added expense to the cap. And also, look, there's also an element of you want guys that you draft to be successful, and if a guy's developing at that rate, you want to give him a bigger stage on which to develop. So a big year for Pete Warner, because we are just kind of penciling him in as that he is going to do as well as Quan has done the last couple of years.
Go back and watch the Giant game. Go back and watch the football team, now Commander game. Go back and watch the Dolphin game. Like, he was somebody that had double-digit tackles in every one of those games. He kind of commanded the defense for his own part. Being a rookie, he was a sure tackler, even in space. That was the question mark for Pete Warner. Could he do it in space? If you want to go back to the most recent time that he was out there on a big stage and did really well, it was the Dolphin game. Individual.
Yeah. And so, and credit to him. And never forget, it is Pete Warner in that Joe Burrow tire video, which is still just absolutely insane. I cannot mention Pete Warner without mentioning the Joe Burrow tire video.